Hello, Victoria, and thank you for agreeing to be interviewed on our continuing series of Ask the Investor. So, welcome.
Thank you.
So, you work for my good friend Adam Collar at his educational company, am I right?
That's correct. Yes, that's how I first encountered OriginClear.
Tutors International Educational Services, as I understand it.
That's correct. Yeah.
What is your role there?
Oh my goodness, I wear many hats. My official job title is COO, so Chief of Operations, but I mean that can range from anything, from the minute details of day-to-day running of the company, right through to sort of really larger scale projects.
What part of England are you speaking from?
I'm from the very south coast. I live near Poole, which is sort of south and in the middle-ish. So yeah, I'm about 200 meters away from the sea.
What's your impression of what we do and how we're doing it?
Yeah, I think you've got this piece of tech. You're doing really good stuff with it. You've got really good ideas for where you want to go with it. I can see hundreds of applications for it going forwards. I'm excited to be part of the journey. I think that's where I'm at with it. I don't know the specifics. I'm one of the hats I definitely don't wear is scientist, so I'm not even going to try and explain the science behind it. It's just very clever people doing very clever things, and I like to kind of ride on the coattails.
Well, like you, I have scientists. I try to choose the right ones, shall we say? And you're right. We're very pleased with. It took us. Wow, we started in June of 2018, launching this modular water line, and it's been a lot of hard work, but it's exploded. And as you know, we also have this interesting way of financing the systems for companies that don't have to pay up front. It's been really interesting. Most recently, people are starting to realize that as a brand new asset, water is all upside. It's all upside. And there's very few things you can say that about these days. I mean, I don't dare invest anymore in regular things. I have no idea what to invest in anymore. It's become, I don't know about you, but
Well, we've just started our investing game. So OriginClear, I think you were the first investment that we made.
wow.
Yeah, I know, it's exciting, isn't it? What an accolade. But it's you've got a product that we believe in, that we like the science behind it. This is me and my husband.
Sure.
We like the science behind it, much as I mean, I understand it when it's explained to me. It's just obviously not my field. So you're doing all the right things. We're quite environmentally minded as well, and I think that's going to be a huge concern for a lot of people. But the great thing about OriginClear is if you're investing in it, it's a case of people who want to invest in things to do good for the planet are going to come away happy from that transaction, because investing in water is a really sensible way to kind of help the planet. You're not investing in oil, you're not investing in guns, you're not investing in automobiles, but also people who want to invest in products to make money can invest in OriginClear and be doing good at the same time. So even if their motivation isn't from the green side of things, you're still capturing that market, still getting the people who are wanting to invest to make money, and they're doing something good, they're doing something positive. It's a really great feeling, I think.
Wow. Well, you're certainly echoing our enthusiasm. One thing you brought up earlier was the vital importance of treating the dirty water, which many people don't realize. I can't tell you how many times people say, well, we're a water company. Oh, you purify the water. Yes, we have that. But people aren't really aware of the fact, and especially in places like California where they have a dire scarcity, and they're not recycling. It's all being dumped into the ocean. I'm like, did you realize that was water that you actually brought all the way to the municipal plant and then threw away? And that is, very revealing. You've probably heard that Israel has very high recycling rates, whereas we are dismal. So it is a mission that is urgent, and I think the real revolution is not going to be in the super, Pepsi-Cola getting a water treatment plant, or Coors Beer, or any one of those people. It's rather the smaller ones, which are the majority, right? I mean, the smaller businesses are the ones that are in a way neglected.
In England, we have this thing where we pay for the water coming into our domestic houses, and you use the water and then you pay for it to be taken away again. And if you can sort of break that cycle and disrupt that a bit, I know you're looking at sort of micro power generation for small communities, like a village with a tiny power plant through a stream or something. Why not do the same thing with water? Why not say, okay, maybe we buy our water from a main provider, but we reroute the used water, the grey water or brown water,
Sure.
and put it through one of your systems that is situated around, in a communal area shared by 20, 30, 40 houses, and reroute that back into the houses. And then you've got this sort of cyclical system that gives you an awful lot more power as a user. I just think it opens up a huge number of possibilities like that. And storm drains in England is a big thing for me, because you could plug one of your systems into the storm drains when they can't cope with the excess water coming down when we have a cloud burst or something. Pop one of your units into the system somewhere along the line and run the dirty storm drain water through that, and then you don't get any of the nasty sewagey water dumped into the rivers. The aged infrastructure with one of your systems. What a great way to fix a problem.
You're so right. There's a stat in the United States that is tracked, which is SRO, storm runoff overflow, and there's a lot of those events. I used to live in LA before I finally escaped to Florida, and the first rain of the season would just bring this deluge of dirty water that would all go in the ocean, and then nobody could swim in the beaches because. Now that's sad, really, because we are a technological civilization. But one of the things that I've noticed is that we tend to consider water, we take it for granted. And it's like, well, I open the tap, water comes out. I flush the toilet, water goes away. And yet there's all these canaries in a coal mine, like, in Great Britain, you've privatized all the reservoirs, and now those reservoirs are in terrible shape because of short-term profit incentive, and similar things happening in the United States. What we realize, and we constantly get calls to go rescue Jackson, Mississippi. I'm like, I'm going to rescue Jackson, Mississippi? No, but what I can do, and what we are all working on, is to offload the industrial burden from these municipalities, and now they can treat water for the people. And I love the fact that in Ireland, water is free. People get water for free. And that can be done if you don't have industrial users poaching the capacity, right? They're sitting on top of the capacity, and they represent, in the United States, 89% of all usage. And the 11%, which is the people who are supposed to be served by the municipalities, are really, disfavored, and they're being hectored like, you must save water. I'm like, excuse me, we're only 11%, okay? So how about looking at the 89 percenters? And that is, it's a problem of, well, you buy a few lobbyists and all of a sudden you can do what you want. So that's unfortunately the case with today's system. But what I like about what we're doing here is business by business, it's growing. We're also sharing this, so we don't want to sort of be the dog in the manger, because I think there's an opportunity for big change. And I'm so happy you get it. Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, not maybe the technical side, but the possibilities. Yes, I can see that they are many and varied, and you might have to tweak a little bit here and there to make it fit within the systems. But I can imagine a world where Thames Water don't lose some ridiculous capacity because their pipes are leaking. But they probably still will because of don't even get me started. They probably will still make losses through underinvestment because reasons, but to give some of that power back to local communities, small villages, places that, gosh, I mean, I don't know so much about the lie of the land in America, but certainly in England, we've got little pockets of villages sort of all across the south. Some of them are quite remote. And again, the further north you go, the more remote it is. Some of, getting water to some of these places, I dread to think of the state of their pipes. If you can take your water consumption into your own hands and, treating of it, the wastewater and everything. And if you can do the same with energy, you've got these, the ability to live and not be dictated to by these massive corporations. It's just, what a world that would be.
Wow. Well, I really share your vision, and I'm so glad you get it, and I'm so glad you're on board as an investor. You're the Army, and it's so necessary. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. I wish you the best of luck. Carry on. Thank you for being on board, and keep up the good work, okay?
I'll keep spreading the word, don't you worry.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.